So I just quit my job. I feel kind of amped right now, so I wanted to sit down, see if I could lay all my thoughts out. I had this idea for this video for a while, but now I feel like I'm in the proper motion. The reason I quit my job, I have a business that does like mid 5 figures in revenue. So at this point, I can pay my bills with the money I make strictly in business. So to be clear, all I know how to do is get a business to mid 5 figures in revenue. Yeah, I don't want to come off as someone who's trying to be something they're not. I have a clothing brand called Shorts Archive. We sell strictly men's shorts and then a couple other accessories, usually bundle exclusives. I want to lay out how I turned the clothing brand into a business, because I feel like for me personally, if I walk up to someone and I said, hey, I own a clothing brand, they kind of chuckle because they know, he probably prints Hanes t-shirts and whatever. We all know like the stereotype. I think what I'm trying to say is I've reframed that. When someone asks me what I do, instead of saying I have a clothing brand, it's I run a business. If they're like, oh, really? What do you do? We sell men's shorts. I feel like clothing brands these days, the ones that pop up on TikTok and Instagram, are largely fueled by very short-term popularity, and they have a hard time holding on to that. I think the problem is that people don't have the infrastructure to maintain that customer base over long periods of time. So my goal has kind of switched from blow up and sell a bunch of stuff as fast as you can to build a good product, acquire as organic as possible customer base, and then market to further leads. So we just released our 4th product, which was the Gym Short 2.0. I would technically count it as like a 3rd product because it is an improvement on a previous one. So if you go back to the beginning days of Shorts Archive, it wasn't a business. It was an Instagram page that I started where I was just posting cool pairs of shorts. And I realized that most of the shorts I was posting, I actually owned. So then I just started taking pictures of my own shorts and kind of writing like a review style caption about them. So I was buying and selling different designer shorts. And what really stuck out to me was the fact that these designer shorts were so expensive, but they really weren't that impressive. To be fair, like the best thing about them is how well they fit. I just always thought to myself, why is there no pair of shorts that's minimally branded, fits really well, has high quality materials, and then you can actually go outside, do something active, because I've always been an active person, without thinking about, oh, I have $400 shorts on. So I started prototyping the first pair. The first product is always the hardest, I would say. I went through like 3 samples, and then the 4th one had like adjustments that I never got like a true sample on, and I could never get the fit right for some reason. And now in hindsight, I understand the problem was the hip measurement. I didn't understand there's a difference between the waist and the hips. And so those shorts fit like super slim through the hips. So at the time, that product was good enough to sell for where I was. This one was called the Prototype 001. I think I did 22 or 23 sales on that one. And then a couple more came in from like Grailed and stuff. I actually made back the money that I spent on the manufacturing. That was the push that was like, okay, this is actually something that you could do. I went through a weird phase of doing like custom Carhartt shorts, which was like impossible to scale and so time consuming. Once again, much more like a clothing brand activity than a business activity. And finally, I launched my first product that I would say is like a proper Shorts Archive product called the Foundation Shorts in March. And I sold out all 50 pairs of the first release in the first month, which was really big for me. I kind of stirred up some hype around it by releasing some rare Rick Owens shorts and stuff. From there, restocked the Foundation, sold them out again. And then we really upped the quantity for the Gym Short and Cargo Shorts release. And that's when I started running Facebook ads. I'm sure if you've interacted with this channel, you've probably seen a Shorts Archive ad. And that's where the scale really kind of started to go up. Another one of those things where I switched from, owning a clothing brand to a business. A really well-known clothing brand owner. I can't remember if he was releasing something or like opening a pop-up, and he was just going on about how all of this that he'd done, he'd never run a single paid ad. And I genuinely think that's really, really cool. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but that's just not the story for me. Like, I don't have his kind of reach. I don't have his follower base. It was really unrealistic for me to make a profitable brand just by like my own influence. It's kind of like a moment where I had to kill my ego and say, you know what, you need to run paid ads because your customers are out there. They just don't know you yet. I think that was a really positive shift, definitely for the business, but definitely for me. I kind of took some of the pressure off my shoulders, like, hey, you don't have to be this influencer with millions of followers. I think that building a personal brand is also important. As you know, I have a YouTube and a TikTok and an Instagram. Like, I'm definitely not trying to avoid a personal brand, but at the same time, I think it's naive as a business owner to think that that's going to take you all the way. You haven't done anything yet. I think the main thing is just I kind of switched from the idea of being cool and having a clothing brand to the idea of I want to run a business. I want to make a product that improves people's lives. I want it to be scalable, and I want people to genuinely love our product. The bottom line, I would say, is you just need to learn more skills, essentially, because for my business, I have to know how to build a website. I have to find ways to take product photos. I have to model my clothing, which I absolutely hate, by the way. I have to run the social media. I have to do all the graphics. I have to make the clothes. I have to find out how to manufacture the clothes. I literally learned how to sew so that I could make sure that the fit of my original shorts was right, so that going forward with the factory, we could be on the same page. There's so many things you don't even realize that go into churning out a final product on a website and being able to sell it. So another thing that I am is accessible. I look at my DMs and I look at my comments. So if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. Pretty much the only thing I won't tell you is what my actual factory is. And I don't even know exactly why. I put in a lot of work to figure that out. I don't know, just handing it to someone else kind of hurts me a little bit inside. But anyway, I'm excited for the future. I have a lot of really cool products lined up for the next couple months, and then getting even after that figured out is exciting. I'm trying to put out 5 signature pairs of shorts by the end of Q1 2024. I have 3 so far, which are the foundation, the cargo, and the gym shorts. So those will be recurring products forever. Keep improving them. Keep making little adjustments to make everything better, but the prices will always stay the same. I think that's important. The original shorts are always going to be worse than what comes later, and that's just inevitable. So someone is willing to pay for the original one. I think that I have the responsibility to keep the price the same for future ones, just to show respect to the customer and genuinely thank them for supporting me before my product is as good as it is now. All that to say, I'm not going to put out a bad product. It's just that once you have a better product, the old product isn't as good anymore. I hope that you found some value from what I said. If you're a clothing brand owner, want to take it to the next level, I wish you luck. It's a long, painful road. I think this is my 3rd clothing brand that I've had, maybe 4. Everything takes time. If I hadn't started making clothes 8 years ago, I would not be making the clothes I am now. My final thought is I just encourage you to stick with whatever you're doing if you know it's what you want to do. Because even if it's not at the point where it's sustainable right now, if you keep doing that on a long enough time horizon and you keep improving it, I think it's inevitable that you'll get to the point where it is sustainable. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. And go check out Shorts Archive because we make some really good shit. But yeah, peace out.